What's up, Brewers listeners? We are here live via Riverside FM this week, which is a new interface that we're using to do remote interviews. And this is Matt, and I'm joined by Erica. What's up?
Here I am.
That's
and
right.
Back again. Very
Yeah,
exciting.
you look disheveled because of all the wine grapes that you've been slinging.
Yeah, seriously. I know. I'm just buried in grapes.
Yeah, if you've ever seen that old I Love Lucy episode, that's Erica's life for the last
My life every day.
every day. Except you're not pressing them with your feet; you're just slinging them for other people to press with their feet. So what's up? What's up? How you been?
Not much. Good. Yeah, I'm surviving. That's exciting.
Have you been enjoying Oktoberfest?
Yeah, I honestly haven't been to any festivals this year. I know I've been slacking and I've just been tired and busy and it just hasn't happened. But I have been drinking them, so I've certainly been enjoying them at home.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I went to Sylvaticus on the first day of Oktoberfest.
So good.
Well, that happened to be their 4-year,
That was their
5-year,
anniversary?
5-year anniversary. I'm so sorry. And that was awesome. Met up with some friends from Instagram, which I don't have. We don't have Instagram friends, I guess, but it's just like
friends.
I don't know. I don't know. There are people whose whole like personality is built on like we have all these Instagram friends. I don't know. I would consider them real life friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm not throwing shade at people who are like I have Instagram friends. It's just they're friends, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went to Notch on the Sunday in their Salem location, and I have to say their beer is so bad I hate it all. It's the worst beer. No, I'm just kidding.
Never going again.
They've both Sylvaticus and Notch have excellent beer.
Yes.
I went to Beowulf's as well because yeah, you know what it was? I bought Lederhosens.
You did. That's right.
Yeah, and like
pictures.
there's like a handful of pictures of me in them because my girlfriend hates them so much.
Really?
Yeah, she just thinks she told me that I look like Pinocchio in it, which is like I don't know. She hates them, and she's like, "There's only 2 times that you could wear them." Was like if we go to Oktoberfest and if you go to like Notch, and I didn't wear them to Notch because Notch was like 90 degrees that day, and I was like, I'm not wearing.
Not happening. Yeah, but you know, if I had Lederhosen or a Drindle, I would probably go to all the Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
You just have to wear it, right?
Yeah, so. And then Sound Guy Ryan and I went to Great Marsh's Oktoberfest, but we caught that at the tail end of the evening.
Yeah.
So things were still people were turned up there, I have to say. German style turned up on schnitzel and good Oktoberfest of Watson and everything. No, but we saw Mac and he definitely enjoyed himself that day, and it was a good time. Yeah, Oktoberfest, nice. It's just a great time. But,
it is.
Yeah. And who's our guest today?
We are featuring Cindy of Twin Elephant
Brewing Co.
They are down in New Jersey.
That's right. And we totally didn't mess that up on the last take of this. Right? Like, Cindy, we knew it was New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
See, she's with it.
Before we get into the episode, you were up here with Widowmaker. You guys were doing a collab and celebrating some stuff with them, right?
Yeah. So it was I think it was their 5th anniversary. Yeah. and we do collabs whenever we can. If we were like in person, because we feel like, with us, to quote, I think Ryan from Widowmaker, it feels dirty if we're not in person. We're doing a collab.
Yes. Meeting Ryan a handful of times. Yeah, that sounds pretty spot on.
That sounds right. Yep.
Yeah. So it was good. I actually didn't end up not being able to go.
Oh, bummer.
The morning that we were supposed to go, I ended up getting a terrible migraine.
Aww.
So I couldn't travel, and I just dipped out. Yeah, so
sometimes I get migraines when I don't want to do things either. No, I'm just kidding.
I swear, I think they think I'm trying to dodge them now, because I think the past couple times we were supposed to do stuff together, I've gotten like sick.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ugh. Yeah. So so that should be a good collab.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. What's being brewed? Because I mean, our Massachusetts people can get it, but the people in New Jersey won't ever taste it, right?
I don't know because I think they're distributing a little bit in New
Oh,
Jersey,
rad, rad,
I
rad.
believe.
Okay.
So, but I don't know how much they'll actually get down here. Because I think that it's more like Blue Comet and the more standard stuff
Right.
they get down
Right.
here. But I'm trying to find the picture of the label because it has all the ingredients that
Nice.
they threw in. I wasn't able to be there, so it just kind of sucks. I'm like, oh, you threw in that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You're like, why the
Yeah, so
hell did you do that?
it's a blonde ale, but they put in coffee, vanilla, Vietnamese cinnamon, and
That
lactose.
Oh,
sounds
rad.
So it's like a
amazing.
nice little yeah, it should
Like kind
be
of like coffee
like a
blonde, like
kind of a coffee
right?
blonde, but
Yeah.
with like cinnamon and vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
I
delicious.
love that. That sounds really
like a
good.
fall latte. Yeah.
Who doesn't love that?
Yes.
So Cindy, thanks for doing this. We're excited
Of
because
course.
New Jersey. I have a couple friends in New Jersey. They always say like what exit they're off of, and what exit are you off of? My New Jersey friends will be pissed if I don't ask that.
Oh yeah, exit 14 off the turnpike.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about Twin Elephant Brewing Co. Where are you located in New Jersey, and like what's the deal? Like what if you had like the too long didn't read version of like Twin Elephant? Tell us it.
So we're in Chatham, New Jersey, which is like a little suburb area outside of. We're about like 30 minutes, 45 minutes outside of the Holland Tunnel,
Okay.
which is but that's like being generous without traffic. It's New Jersey, so. But we started in 2016, or we opened our doors in 2016 as a 2 barrel, with only 6 fermenters.
Oh wow.
So our focus was really just on being a super local, hyper fresh, changing stuff up all the time. We never wanted to have like a flagship. It's because we were my me and my partners, is my husband Tim and our friend Scott. We all went to high school together, so it's like kind of our homegrown um, kind of thing. We're still in the same area where we grew up too. We kind of always loved, breweries, Colorado and Vermont. Scott went to college in Vermont. Tim and I went to Europe and like checked out, breweries in Belgium and um, even in London and France, whatever like they don't have much at the time, but was interesting to see that everything was like based off of local breweries. Like every town had like local breweries and even multiple. And we kind of love that where everyone's getting their beer fresh. So we kind of want to take that idea and put it into the States, especially being in like the small suburb area. We felt like people might appreciate, you know, fresh beer.
Yeah, absolutely. So
And we wanted to build a community around it too.
yeah. So did you start like by homebrewing, or like how did you get into like even how did you get into craft beer? Like when did you fall in love with it?
So all 3 of us actually homebrewed, and we homebrewed together. We all kind of had our own separate paths, and I'd say probably around 2008 is when we all converged with our homebrewing again. I, in college and after college, ended up living with a person that loved to homebrew.
Cool.
So I learned to homebrew and appreciate craft beer through that. My husband, Tim, he actually, going cross country after college, he loved the experience of breweries in the West Coast. So he got inspired to learn home brewing from that. And then our partner Scott, he went to school in Burlington,
Oh
Vermont.
wow.
And so, just living there for 4 years, he kind of just fell in love with the craft beer culture. And, he was there when the Alchemist was still the brew pub and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
We'll be going up to that area actually in a couple weeks to do some interviews. So it's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
So what did you originally like? What was the original plan for everyone? Like, wasn't opening a brewery. I mean, like, what did you go to school for?
So I went to school for electrical
Oh,
engineering,
that's what I do actually.
and
Yeah.
then Oh yeah.
That's what I do.
Well, and I feel like engineering and beer go hand in
Yeah.
hand, right? And then I got my I got my MBA, and then my husband, he actually got his degree in business, and then also got his master's in his MBA also. And Scott, actually, when he was in Vermont, he got his degree in journalism.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So did you ever work as an electrical engineer?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I actually did automation and controls, which actually really helps with the brewing process. Yeah. So same with one of our brewers. He was a mechanical engineer and was in manufacturing, so he understands the process as well.
Yeah.
Like if you know processes in that scale, manufacturing, you can like, it could be beer, it could be soda, it could be food, like, and it's not the same, but the thinking is kind of the same.
Yeah, so it translates quite well.
Yeah. But yeah, we all had different paths.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was that kind of moment that all three of you kind of converged and were like, all right, I hate my day job. Let's start a brewery.
Well, Tim and Scott still have their day jobs.
All right, so they don't hate their day jobs if their employers are listening. They love them.
They do. Yeah. They like their day jobs. Well, Scott works with his family construction still, but he is like here a lot too, and Tim is here. He does all the cellaring and marketing and stuff like that. So they're just doubling up basically.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I consider myself the lucky one. I quit my day job and focus on this. But really what it came down to was when I was actually doing marketing for an electronic solder company.
Okay.
Really glamorous, sexy stuff, right? And I just wanted to change, and I didn't know if I wanted to change in my career path or like or just move to a different company, still do the same thing. But at that time, we had been home brewing together for so long, and having like the drinking beers, having the pipe dream. Oh my God, it'd be awesome to be able to open a brewery. And in 2012, the laws in New Jersey changed to make it easier for people to open up breweries. Because before that, you weren't allowed to sell beer for on-site consumption.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was just for distribution only?
It was for distribution only or on-site to go.
Holy cow.
And yeah, so the revenue model didn't make sense for like a tap room model, which is like, which brings the heart into stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of. So once they changed that law, it made it definitely more accessible to people be like, oh, this actually can work out. So 2000, we talked it for a long time, so we actually kept our eyes out for spaces, but around 2015 is when we actually found a space, and we're like, oh, okay, we can actually like, let's put a business plan together, see if this works out. And then it became reality.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into all the trials and tribulations of opening a brewery, but it looks like Erica's having a little bit of technical difficulties over there. So we're going to kick it over to Sound Guy Ryan for some ads, and Erica will hopefully be back on the other end of this. So take it away, Sound Guy Ryan.
Did you know that your favorite Massachusetts breweries use hops from a local family-owned hop farm right here in Massachusetts?
Our friends over at 4 Star Farms are there for you whether you're a commercial brewery or a small batch home brewer.
Make sure to head over to their website today and get your hands on some of the best and freshest hops available locally. Cheers.
At our local homebrew shop, Beer and Wine Hobby, you can get everything you need to make beer, wine, cider, cheese, and more. Not sure where to start? They have knowledgeable staff there to help. Beer and Wine Hobby is family-owned and located in Danvers, Massachusetts. Visit their website, beer-wine.com, and use our promo code BREWROOTS for 10% off your online order today.
Shirts on Tap is the box subscription service where you can get some of the dopest brewery t-shirts out there. I'm talking breweries from Dallas, San Diego, and even our home area of New England. And you might ask, how do I get my hands on some? To get your first box for $5, click the link below in our description, or head on over to our website, breweroots.com. Remember, drink better beer, wear better shirts. All right, and we're back. We figured out the technical difficulties. Erica, you did a great job. You unplugged and plugged it back in, and it worked.
Thank you. I'm really impressed with myself, to be honest. Like, it worked.
Well, I always knew you were capable of that type of high-tech repair, but, and you
I think Ryan's going to be impressed. I think he's going to be really proud of us for
I
getting through this.
So that's IT strategy.
Yeah.
Did you plug it in? Yeah. All right. So we're kind of getting into how you found the space. You guys were all home brewing and kind of your paths cross. How much did it suck opening a brewery?
It sucked a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since like the laws were new kind of in New Jersey, a lot of paperwork was really slow for the state. So it was a new space, so they wanted to make sure they cross their T's and dot their I's, and so we basically had to wait a year for approval to be able to start brewing. Yeah. And I know, like, even with the TTB, like, it's a little backwards where you have to have everything built and done before you get approval and all that stuff. So
and you're paying rent on that.
Building that.
Yeah, and you're paying rent on that location. Yeah. You're not making any money.
We're paying rent. Thankfully, we were so lucky to have a really understanding landlord.
Cool.
That's huge.
For some reason, huge. We looked at places for almost 3 years, and every town shot us down in the beginning.
No, is it just because they didn't understand what a brewery was?
Yeah, they didn't understand what a brewery was. They thought we were just trying to open a bar, and like
drunk.
And just like get a rowdy crowd.
Right.
Our landlord, he was amazing. He's like an old school Italian guy. He makes his own wine. Yeah. So he understood the process of winemaking stuff. So he's like, oh, it's like winemaking. Brewing's like winemaking. I'm like, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Just cut.
It's a process.
Just cut like 4 or 5 months out of it, and
right, exactly. Yeah. But he understood, and we're like, we told him the deal with the delay that we wouldn't be able to sell anything or make any revenue for a year.
Yeah.
So he was really nice and made us an offer where we back-ended our lease.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
He charged us 50% in the beginning, and we just like towards the end of the lease just made it up.
What a gangster. Love that.
Yeah, super super nice. Even put a clause in there that if the paperwork didn't like work out with the state and the federal, he said we can break the lease.
Wow.
That's really no strings attached. He was super nice. Yeah.
So now
there are
what
still good people in the world.
brewery were you in New Jersey?
We were the 50th to open.
50.
And now, 50.
Wow, that's surprising.
And
that
now
still was so difficult for you to like get a license and everything, even though there was so many before you.
There was like, I think 30 some, maybe 30 or so, like right before the law changed, maybe even less. When that law changed, everyone started to do everything at the same time.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it was.
So So like there was, in just that 1 year, I know of 3 breweries opening up at the same time in North Jersey. I'm assuming in South Jersey there was even more because there's so many breweries in South Jersey.
Yeah.
So there's 149 breweries operating in New Jersey now.
Wow, that's a lot for like such a small state.
Mm-hmm.
At least it sounds
there's
like
a lot of. It's a lot, but people always ask us about the saturation point, and
that's a big
New
deal.
Jersey is such a dense state, so it's a densely populated state. The per capita, we're not even like close to anywhere near as like California.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
For beer per capita.
Yeah.
So yeah, we still have a lot of space technically in New Jersey to satisfy the
the
population. Even though we have Anheuser-Busch as one of their big facilities here.
Oh, that's right.
But all that beer goes out to the rest of the country.
Okay.
So
easy enough.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So so we're really lucky that we landed that. And then we just built everything from like basically ourselves. Because Tim has experience in construction.
Yeah.
Scott and his family has a construction company, so they're like, we were also again lucky that we were all kind of skilled in being able to build stuff out. Yeah. So basically everything except for I think the drywall, because the drywall we knew would just be faster if we just hired someone.
Yeah.
Everything besides the drywall and like technical things like the plumbing and the things to be coded by for like electric.
Right.
We did everything else ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Nice.
So you mentioned the Anheuser-Busch facility, right? Northern New Jersey, definitely like a working class area. I think of like Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah.
But how do you convince someone to drink one of your beers when it's like the domestics kind of reign supreme?
In New Jersey, people are proud of local. So, I mean, even though Anheuser-Busch is local, it's not a local brand, right? So when all the breweries are popping up, it's actually New Jerseyans were very proud to like support their local business. We're a big farm state too, so people are like eat local, drink local, you know.
Yeah.
And even though like you associate the Anheuser-Busch brands to like blue collar workers and stuff like that, I don't know, I think that's just a marketing thing.
Yeah.
Like we have in our tap room, we have people of all different like diversities. Like you get your blue collar workers, you have your white collar workers, you have your college students, you have just the local people down the street, just like that can walk here.
Yeah.
So
it
doesn't matter. There's a beer for everyone. That's what we always say to people.
Definitely.
Yeah. What is that kind of beer for everyone though? Like, what's your go-to beer for somebody coming into your tap room for the first time?
It's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of an experience, right? So we train our staff to just ask people what they like. It's like, I don't know. So we get a lot of people like come in and say, "Oh, I was never really a beer drinker." Because all they know is like Miller Lite, Coors Light, something like that. I'm like, "Oh, you just haven't found the right beer." Do you like coffee? Do you like white wine? Do you like what do you like? And it's funny because like you'll find a beer for that person.
Right.
We get a lot of like people will be like, "Oh, I only drink like white wine spritzers," right? And we're like, "You'd love a saison."
Yeah.
Yeah. and they do.
They do. Yeah.
Perfect. So it sounds like you kind of are brewing a wide variety of beers.
Yeah. We are. We like to experiment, and we like to have a lot of different styles on the board. Where we gotten to be known for hops. We hammer our dry hop pretty heavy, but at the same time, we like to brew what we like to drink also. Not to say we don't like hops, but
sometimes you need
want a lager.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a lager. I'm drinking a brown ale right now.
Yeah. Is that your Jersey Squirrel?
Need the it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a fun name.
Yeah. So I'm looking at your beer menu right now. I mean, it's true. I mean, you guys got a pale ale, you got a cream ale, which that's awesome. They have a cream ale. There's so many breweries I wish that would brew a cream ale.
Yeah. We love cream ales. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I said we love making cream ales.
Yeah.
It's one of those beers that almost anyone like. I think people think cream ale and like they think a different way, and it's like no, it's just it's just a light beer. Yeah.
When opening the brewery, I mean, what was your kind of go-to beers, when you were, experiencing breweries and everything?
Oh man, we were all over the map with that too. When we were getting into the craft beer scene, it was like the Sierra,
Oh, like the West Coast stuff.
you had Anchor Steam, yeah, Dogfish, Lagunitas is what Tim fell in love with when he was on the West Coast. But while we were like building out and stuff like that, it was kind of a cool experience. I think it's when like Stone and Oscar Blues and Founders started getting really big.
Yeah.
So it was fun because while we were building out our place, we were like sustaining on their light beers, and that's when they started experimenting with session IPAs. So it was kind of cool. We were like, oh, Founders is making all day.
Yeah.
They just started making all day. The Stones just started making to go.
Yeah.
To go. Yeah. Sub 5% beers.
It's perfect timing for a build
that
out.
we could exactly. Yeah. We could handle some tools with having a couple beers here.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, looking at your,
but it was cool. There was definitely a boom. Yeah.
I mean, looking at your tap list, I mean, most of your beers are kind of sessionable. I mean, except for the IPAs, but was that important for you?
Yeah. So it is. Part of it was because we started on a 2-barrel system. It was really hard to push that system to high. Yeah, it was hard to push that system to like a high grav. Yep. And if we did push it a high grav, it would be like you get nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So we kind of just got used to making, basically 7 and under was what we were making when we first opened.
Yeah.
And now we make beers that are big. Like we make some stouts in the wintertime that are 13% plus.
Nice.
Yeah. What are you brewing on now?
Yeah, we're brewing on a 7.
Okay.
So it's still relatively small, but we have 2 boil kettles.
Nice.
So we double up the boil kettles.
Yeah.
And then big liquor tank. Hot liquor tank, sorry. So the mash tun itself is still a 7-barrel, but you could fit a good amount in there.
Right.
But the double kettle is huge.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're doing like a double brew day or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you must have some
because we have like
bigger fermenters then.
Yeah, we have big fermenters, so we'll triple into a 20. We have like a few 20s, some 12s, and then a lot of like we got like 2 7-barrel lager tanks now.
Oh, nice.
And we have like a bunch of 5s, which are technically bigger than 5s, but with the headspace and stuff like that. But yeah, so like we get to experiment with all different kinds of things.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys brew a lot then? Like with such a smaller system, do you brew like every day all the time?
Every day, yeah.
Yeah, our crew, they're pushing like five turns a week.
Yeah. That's a lot. Which is good for you guys, I guess, right? I mean, it means you're
it's great. Like we have, it's cool. Like we have 3 brewers, and they just crush their turns like one after another.
Nice.
So it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, and you're distributing as well now.
Yeah, so we're distributing local to about like 60 accounts.
Okay.
But which is it's not that much for New Jersey.
Yeah. But for you guys, on top of everything else you're doing.
But for us, it's and we'll get stuff to. We'll get stuff to Massachusetts here and there.
Yeah.
And to Philadelphia.
Nice. Whereabouts in Massachusetts do you get your beer distributed to? Do you know?
So I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
Because we send a pallet out to the distributor and it just goes. Yeah. But it is cool. I know it sells. Like they'll tell us like, oh, it's all sold out.
Yeah.
And it's been cool to see, like, I ran into some guy at Other Half in New York one day, and he saw, it must have been wearing like one of our hoodies or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, Twin Elephant." He's like, "I just had that beer." I'm like, "You had our
What?
beer?" I'm like, "From where?" Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I live in Massachusetts."
Oh shit, that's cool.
And I had your beer, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so
nice."
Meeting a guy in New York
Yeah.
From
that had our beer in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is really cool.
And he just happened to be there on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do we find out who has your beer? Do you have like a distribution, like what distributor you use, I guess, or?
So we use Craft Collective.
Okay, I think they have a list online on
yeah.
their website.
They have a list. Yeah, it's more like we should be more diligent also to like feel like, oh, we can find our beer
You
here.
have 100 things to do. It's okay.
Well, we put a lot of trust in our
Yeah.
distributors, like, so we know that they're gonna push it to whoever think is the best fit,
Yeah.
or like where they think the market's gonna do well, because we do have, I mean, pushing hops up in Massachusetts. I'm always like, God, there's a million breweries already
Right.
up there.
Right.
Yeah.
But oh my God, Massachusetts drinks beer.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely
Cool.
do.
So check Craft Collective and find their beer and try it.
Yeah.
So Cindy, I have a question about the brewery rules in New Jersey. Is it true you guys are only limited to like 25 events per year, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
So like, does that include just like if a guy comes in with like one guitar and plays a song?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So yeah. So there's like I think if it's amplified, it's considered live music, right?
So would it acoustic things count?
So there's like a gray area where, like, I don't know, but these are things that we're trying to sort out with the state. It happened, so it was 2019, I believe. They put out this special ruling. It's technically not in legislation, but the ABC of New Jersey decided to put this special ruling out to kind of put some specific brewery specific rules out, because a lot of the restaurant and bar lobbyists were getting very nervous.
Breweries are gonna take over.
Yeah. Yes. And in New Jersey, it's kind of messed up because liquor licenses are so expensive.
Yeah. Same thing in Massachusetts as well.
It could be like millions of dollars.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they're an asset, so they're attached to a building.
Oh,
basically.
Interesting.
So like you think of it as kind of like $1 million asset you have, right?
Yeah.
Where like our argument as a brewery, it's like, sure, we only pay a couple $1,000s instead of $1 million annually for our manufacturer license, but at the end of the day, we invest the same amount of money in our equipment.
Yeah.
So but they were getting nervous, and the state wanted to kind of pacify the lobbyists and also not 100% screw over the breweries, but they also didn't understand breweries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been taking some time, and especially with COVID shutdown didn't help.
Right.
But
25 events, so how do I get people in my door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's gotten to the point where like the public is more educated about it too.
That's good.
So the local communities are supporting breweries. They want to be able to come to a brewery and hear a local acoustic, player or a band,
bingo night or something, right?
Right, trivia, or just have like events like we used to have. Like we've had a couple events like floral arrangements with another local business, or a cheese pairing night, stuff like that.
Supporting each other.
Every time you support each other, support local businesses, other local businesses, and so our argument is it stifles small business.
Yeah.
In all different aspects.
Definitely.
Definitely also an overreach, we'd say, of the ABC, where they're only really supposed to be governing alcohol. And it's kind of going into the realm where they're governing entertainment.
Yeah.
So we're like,
it's interesting.
So that kind of sucks too. Yeah. So that's a slippery slope you want to stop right away.
Yeah.
Huh. And but yeah, so I mean, like, we, breweries are breweries. Us particularly, we open to focus on the beer.
Right.
So the special ruling laws aren't a make or break for the bottom, like for a brewery to survive, right? If you're making beer and you're putting beer out there, then you should be able to survive. But at the same time, it is ridiculous,
Right.
Let us have someone play their guitar, whenever they want.
Yeah.
Let us have a food truck, in our parking lot.
Right.
Really? So
let
even
us do events with other local businesses.
So even having a food truck.
Yeah.
That constitutes an event.
There was a point that's a separate thing. We're not allowed to have food trucks, period.
Oh.
What?
Period.
Yeah, we're not allowed to have food trucks at all.
Wow.
We're not allowed to serve food. Yeah, we're allowed. We had to fight to be able to serve like pretzels and snacks.
Oh,
holy cow! There was a stupid law in Massachusetts during COVID that you had to have food in order to stay open. So all these breweries were like, "All right, we're gonna make gourmet hot dogs." None of them were gourmet.
Right, but but you can just.
And there's an irony to it. Yeah, there's an irony to it where there's also a part of the law for New Jersey is everyone at a brewery has to be like tip certified, which is like the server certification. And that service, like that training shows you like feed people.
Right.
So
you don't want them to get drunk.
Don't let them get wasted. Yeah. And they're requiring us to be tip certified at the same time. We're not allowed to feed people.
Cool.
So it's cool. Yeah. it's a little backwards.
Well, I was going to ask you what frustrates you.
The good. Yeah.
I was going to ask you what frustrates you about the state.
All the things.
But now it seems like we covered all of them.
It's out there now.
Yeah. I mean, I try to be optimistic.
Of course.
In the sense of like, I don't think the state has shut down and been like, oh, we're not going to listen to breweries at all.
Right.
I think there's a lot of good discussion happening. But
it's like it says, kind of about just like educating them a bit more and
it's government. Yeah, government's a little slow, to move, but I think it's gonna work out at the end, hopefully.
I hope so too.
Because we do want to we want to have fun things for like our local community. That's the whole point of us opening. We wanted this community sense,
right?
And and it kind of stifles that when we can't have.
You can't really support each other.
You can't support each other, or even like comes down to the customers. Like if they want like a private event or something like that, that's limited also.
Well, I've already had 20 events this year, so I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
They just
don't
understand breweries.
Like a wedding or whatever, and
yeah. Right. It's like, oh no. So yeah, exactly. Someone wants to have a wedding here. I think also for private events, to be fair, I think they limit us to 50 a year.
Oh, you can have private events.
Private events are separate.
More. Okay, well that's a plus, I guess.
Yeah. So like once a week, basically for a year, you can have a private event. Yeah. But the 25
public
events. It's you blow through that in like a month.
Right.
So we have to keep the lights on here at the Brew Roots podcast. So before we get into, because Cindy, I want to know like what flavors you bring to the table, because I read an article that that's why you were brought in, for your flavors. Is that true?
I guess yes and no. Depends what article you're looking at. I've been misquoted a lot too.
I think talk about that.
I think it was the mindfully brewed one. So
Okay.
All right, so sound guy Ryan, take it away, and we will be back in a few moments.
Are you a solo artist, band, podcaster, or anyone else who needs recording services?
Well, we got a place for you where your vision can become a reality.
Welcome to Small Pond Studios, built by hand with heart and sweat equity by musicians for musicians.
Go to smallpondstudios.io to reach out to get more information. And make sure you let them know that Brute sent you. Hey, Sound Guy Ryan here. Didn't know if you heard, but we're a part of the Hopped Up Network. There you'll find other informative podcasts about beer. So go ahead, follow them on social media, and visit them on their website, hoppedupnetwork.com, to learn more about the people, beer, and breweries from around the country. And until next time, thanks for listening. Cheers.
So we're back. We were just joking about how interesting New Jersey laws are. So we should just do a whole podcast on New Jersey laws. What do you think, Cindy?
Whoa,
Riveting?
that sounds
Yeah.
really exciting.
that episode will be for pay on our Patreon account, and you can pay for that episode because it's really, really compelling. So
Yeah.
I read this Brewed Mindfully article, which I have to say it's a good article. Don't get me wrong. It paints your brewery in an awesome light, but it said you brought in 5 years ago for your flavors. So I just want to know, what does that mean?
Oh, so I think that was a not a misquote,
Okay.
but a misunderstanding on our website. I think our copy on our website is worded weird.
Okay.
And I'll blame my husband for that because I was like, why? after I read it, I was like, oh, that does say that weird thing.
It's like, what does that mean?
I think when he wrote that was when we first opened. So like 5 years ago was like 5 years ago was 2000.
Oh,
no, like 2010.
Yeah.
2009. Yeah. So like I've been there from the beginning, but when I think basically what I was trying to say was when we were home brewing, I'm not the technical, like I'm not the chemist, right? Like Scott is definitely very in that chemistry mindset.
Technical, hit his numbers, all that stuff.
He can think of the water chemistry, the acids of the hops and all that stuff. It just clicks in him. Same with Tim. Like Tim, in that sense, he really understands like the dry hopping techniques and stuff like that. I think for me, like when they say flavors, I was like coming up with culinary culinary
ideas,
combinations. Yeah, exactly. And basically kind of challenging them in that sense, being like, I remember one day I was just like, I want a lemongrass and I forget what it was. It was one day I just randomly I was like, I want a lemongrass pale ale. Right, to Scott, and he was like, when we were still homebrewing, he's like, I've never had lemongrass before, but I'm gonna figure this out,
That's a good challenge, though. To be like, I want let's figure it out.
Lemon,
mm-hmm. and even just recently, like we had
lemongrass works in beer pretty well. Yeah, no, lemongrass works in beer pretty well. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's what I was like, like I understood, like it's grassy, it's like citrusy, little lemony, you have it in like Thai food. I'm like, lemongrass could work in like something really simple, something delicate, But even like recently, we had like a base, we had a mishap with a beer, right? Where the mash temp got messed up. It was supposed to be an IPA. The mash temps got messed up, but it was still a fine beer, just wasn't what we were intending on the brew sheet. It had a little bit of a bigger body than we intended, a little sweeter. And so we were just kind of like riffing on ideas, and I was like, let's put chai spice in it.
Ooh.
You know,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be a hoppy beer, you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, sure, whatever. I figured out like a ratio for like a good chai spice recipe and threw it in and recirced it. I just tasted it like an hour ago. It's actually shockingly really good. Because it still has like hops in it, but it's like got that chai spice and it's not too tannic. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
So like kind of stuff like that. It's like, you know, I mean, yeah, the guys are very creative in different aspects, and I'll bring another aspect of creativity from another.
Is that
angle.
Definitely one of the benefits of
that's cool.
Having a smaller brew house? You know, that you can do these kind of crazy ideas and say like, it's not so bad if we are only doing a couple barrels of it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like we don't have flagships. Almost on purpose. Like we don't want to be known for just like one beer. We have like popular beers that we bring back, but they're not constantly on.
Yeah.
I think it confuses people. But it also gives us the room to just experiment, you know, or like, or have happy mistakes.
Yeah.
We can have happy accidents. Like just because a beer didn't come up to as planned doesn't mean it's a tosser. You know, if it's not infected, it's not like a bad beer. You know, flip the script, see you can make something out of it.
I think that's how some cool styles come to be, you know, happy mistakes.
Yeah. Happy mistakes. Yeah.
Okay, so curious, how many times have you actually collabed with Widowmaker?
4 times now.
That's a decent amount. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And we formed a weird like fun relationship with them randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just like, I don't know, vibe together. So
where did you guys meet? I don't know if that was already discussed.
No, we met on a boat.
Oh, that's beautiful.
in Portland, Massachusetts. Portland, Massachusetts. Oh my god, Portland, Maine. Yeah. Surprise, new city. No, in Portland, Maine. It was actually a hop contractor, a hop vendor, one of their events, and they had invited us up, and they invited Widowmaker, and a lot of the people that attended were actually super local.
Yeah.
Like they were all like from Portland.
Of course.
So we were kind of like the outcasts.
Hey.
Like which made sense. You know? Yeah. So we kind of just like gravitated to each other being the weird wallflowers.
Not from Portland. What are you doing?
Yeah. But it was cool. Like we kind of just jived, and then we always say like, "Oh, that's the day we all fell in love."
Yeah, on a boat. It's a beautiful story.
On a boat, very romantic on a sunset cruise.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, their style, you know, style wise, they're similar to us. The way they brew is also similar. We like music. The music also brought us all together.
Yeah. I was saying, you guys both do
some metal
very
stuff.
Similar, like. Yeah, in every aspect.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
We also all love salty margaritas. Right? It's just another bonding experience.
Yes.
But yeah, it was just like, it was a cool thing. Yeah, we just felt each other out in a sense of like business and personally.
Yeah. So you guys usually collab just for each other's anniversaries, or is it just kind of whenever you're feeling it? When you're in the mood?
Whenever, like, if it works for our schedules.
Okay.
Like, if one of us is gonna be in someone's area, we'll try to schedule something out. Definitely anniversaries. Like for anniversaries, we've tried to make more of an effort.
Yeah.
You know, scheduling. But yeah, just whenever is convenient. And just, I mean, I know those guys are super busy all the time. We're busy all the time. So it's a little bit harder than not, just to collab with anyone in general.
Yeah.
But we always try to get each other on the books, at least like once a year or so.
Right. Easier said than done, I'm sure. But
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Well, production schedule is never set in stone for sure.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Matt, do you have anything you want to?
I think my last question that I would have for Cindy is, if you could, relay to anyone trying to open a brewery at this present moment, what would be your advice? And maybe if they are, hearing, oh, it's saturated, like you mentioned before, what would be your advice as well?
I'd say just be passionate about the product. Definitely have a business plan. I've seen a lot of people jump in with just a bunch of money and no plan.
Yeah.
And not even just breweries. That's just a bad way to do business
in general. Yep.
In general, definitely have a plan. But saturation. If you have a good product and you're passionate about it, you'll stand out. Just don't. I think people lose sight of the fun aspects of beer sometimes. Because yes, you have to run a business, but at the same time, your company culture is also what makes you different from everyone else in the market.
Yeah.
So just make sure you stand out.
Yeah.
At this point, there's so many breweries out there,
you gotta find a way to be individual.
Yeah,
and
make good beer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just make good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lied. I have one more question. We always we always do this with a broad episode. So if you had to choose your favorite pizza joint, your favorite dive bar, and Erica, give one more.
Oh.
Give me one more.
Maybe just your favorite thing to do, or a favorite place to go, or whatever in your area.
Oh my god. Oh. Favorite pizza. Do you know how hard it is for someone in New Jersey to say their favorite pizza joint? Oh god, it's so hard. We actually have a Slack channel for our employees dedicated just to pizza.
Oh my god.
So we can share
That's so great.
where we all get pizza from and stuff, and what it's like and rating it and stuff.
That's great. Well, your top couple,
favorite pizza joint. Yeah. I'll just go I'll go to my heart. The three of us, Tim, Scott, and I, we all grew up in a small town called Berkeley Heights. It's very Italian. It's probably 5 square miles and at that time had 5 legit pizzerias.
Wow. That's a lot.
A lot. And it's not crappy pizza. It's you could send anyone from out of state and they're this is gonna be the best. This is the best pizza I've ever had. So my family's place that we used to go to all the time, the one that we chose, was called DeMayo's. Scott is also a DeMayo's family. I know. My husband is a Marcello's family. So there's pizza wars.
Yeah.
But so DeMayo's would be my pick. They're they're really, really good. Just
Nice.
old school pizza. Dive bar. Oh my god. There were so many back in the day and not so much lately. I don't even know if the dive bars I used to go to are even open. I used to people smoking them. That's how divey they were.
Classic.
I used to love this bar, Buddy Shamrocks in Trenton, where we grew up. I'm pretty sure it's got to be gone now. It was on the first floor of a house.
Yeah.
And you would they had a challenge where if you drank all the Irish whiskeys they had on a list,
oh god,
you get a T-shirt and a name on a plaque.
Oh
Yeah. You were only limited to 3 shots a night.
Yeah,
that was a big thing. You were only allowed to have 3 shots in one night.
So you had to come back.
But that was my favorite dive bar. Yeah, you had to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I haven't been to a dive bar in a while, which is kind of sad. Because I feel even divey bars you go to now, they're not necessarily dive bars. They just kind of look, they just look a little divey. Like I want to smell the stale cigarettes in the air and stickiness on the bar. You know,
want to stick to the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And
then just like favorite thing to do in your area.
I don't know. I just turned 40 and I really love doing absolutely nothing.
Cool.
It's in at home. Yeah. That has become my favorite pastime, is just lay on the couch, maybe eating an edible and just zoning out.
Okay, so when everyone travels, we'll just say you gotta find Cindy.
Yeah.
Eat an edible with her.
But in the area, like legit, like actually going out and having fun. I don't know. I'm again very lucky. New Jersey's like, in this part of New Jersey, it's close to the city, but we have beautiful hiking areas and stuff like that. And just like going on a little hike and just, I don't know, being by yourself in nature is so refreshing.
Yeah.
And I always feel blessed to like just be able to go like down the road and get on a trail. Yeah. You know, it's not that accessible to a lot of people. So
right.
And especially this time of year is like,
it's nice.
It's nice to be in the woods.
Yeah. Very cool.
Well,
but yeah, no, laying on my couch and
Cool.
Well, Cindy, thank you for doing this evening. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
No, I'm so happy we did it. Finally got to do it. Yeah.
So if you are in,
we made it through.
So if you are in the Chatham Borough area of New Jersey, make sure you go on over to Twin Elephant Brewing Co. And say hi to Cindy. Don't be a creep. Just say hi.
Yeah.
Just say hi.
Like a little awkward wave. Yeah.
No touching. Just say hi. Yeah.
Just do a little awkward wave and then order a couple beers and do not ask if they have any events because they only have 25 they can do.
It's true.
Yeah.
When we do it, we make it worth
we're going to come down to New Jersey and maybe we'll make an event out of that and it'll be huge. We'll come down with Widowmaker.
Yeah.
It'll be like a secret event though, so it won't count. Okay.
Yeah,
secret event. Exactly. We hide in the brew house. That's
we
a
eat
secret
pizza.
event.
We eat as much pizza as possible.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll get you every pizza on our employees list.
I love pizza.
Challenge accepted.
All right, well, thank you, Cindy, so much.
Well, thank you again. Yeah. We love having you.
Yeah.
Of course, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, guys.